Going on, guys? Jay Fast here. Got the 2018 Indian Scout Bobber with us. Mid-December, not bad riding. Fairly chilly, about 7 degrees out right now, and as you can see, the roads are a little dirty. Thought we'd kick things off today and talk about 10 things that I don't like about the Indian Scout Bobber. So first things first, I'm based out of Victoria, BC, Canada, and as it stands right now, there's only one dealership in all of BC. We're a pretty big province, and to get support can be a little difficult. More so because I'm on Vancouver Island, so not only do I gotta get to a different city to get to the dealership, I also gotta take a ferry. So that's my main issue with this bike right now, is getting dealer support, getting oil filters, warranty claims, anything like that. I pretty much got to take a day off of work to go get any service done. And if I got to stay overnight, then it means hotels. It's not ideal. Second item on the list. On the American versions, you'll notice that they've got a back side mount license plate. And pretty much everything I've seen, other than the US versions, has got this tail piece. And in Canada, England, everywhere, they pretty much seem to have it. You know, it kind of ruins the bobber style a little bit. I mean, they do got some nice features and Indian logos in there, and it's not terrible, but definitely not as nice as a side mount, in my opinion. Item 3 is the exhaust. It's way too long. You know, if they cut that thing in half, would have been way nicer. Better lines, expose that brake a bit. As you can see here, the exhaust is pretty much almost longer than the entire bike's tire there. Sticks out past. So something we're definitely gonna have to change here in the near future. Number 4 on the list, false neutral. This bike, between first and second, it hits a false neutral quite a bit. You don't have to be aggressive with it, but you definitely got to full stroke it. No half strokes. Get it? Anyways, you just got to be dutiful and purposeful with your shifts. After third, fourth, fifth, sixth, not a problem. Goes in nicely. But that first to second is, you really got to be on it. While we're on this side of the bike, pegs. The lean angle on this thing is not all that outstanding. You're going to be dragging pegs pretty easily. Roundabouts, simple corners, you're definitely going to be scraping some peg. Number 6 is the seat. It is extremely firm. Anything longer than an hour, you start to feel it pretty good. So right off the bat, it's extremely firm seat. I got about 1,600 kilometers on it now. It's starting to ease up a bit, but definitely too firm for the beginning. Back at the top of the bike here, the self-canceling turn signals, they don't always work. I've ridden a couple Harleys with self-canceling, and they tend to work pretty much all the time. This one's hit or miss. Sometimes they go, sometimes they don't. So I'm not sure if the next new model years will upgrade that a bit, but as it stands right now, they're about 60% success rate. Headlight, pretty good, other than being extremely dirty right now. It low beam, it's pretty bright, but the beam pattern is just not that great. High beam's way too high, low beam's way too low. I can't seem to find a happy medium, but I'll try adjusting it a bit and see if I can come up with something different. Number 9. It's pretty low to the ground. It's a low bike, scraping pegs. You know, that's part of the whole bobber theme. So if you're looking for a really plush ride, this one is not for you. Came off a Honda Shadow 750. You could ride that all day long. But this one, you know, combine that with the seat, lowered suspension for this model year, pegs, the ride height, it is just, you're scraping, you're going to feel every bump, every imperfection on the road. So you just got to be prepared for that. And lastly, number 10. Obviously being a 2018 model year, there's just not a whole lot out parts wise for this yet. We're just at the tail end of 2017 now. You know, I got exhaust, intake, fuel controller, all that stuff still exists, and there's a little bit shocks and whatnot. There's a 2016 2017 model year Scout, but you know, when it comes down to edge and performance, you really get into it, there's not a whole lot like Harley has and everything. So that's another thing to consider when you're thinking about buying this bike is, you know, if you want to do a huge modification to it and like that, you are going to be slightly limited. So that pretty much concludes our list with everything I hate about the Indian Scout Bobber.